Hello everyone, welcome to the Redmen TV. It is the starting 11 prediction show, fresh off the back of beating the Manx 5-0 at Old Trafford. Liverpool head away to Preston in the EFL Cup. Now, I'm here to predict Jurgen Klopp's starting 11. I listened intently to Pep Lijnders' press conference before this one. Not that it will give me any help in any which way, shape or form, because I'm basically just going to throw all the players at the board and see who sticks for this one. So wish me luck first and foremost, and secondly, get your predictions in the comments section. If you disagree with a player or something like that, we'll talk about that a little bit later on. I'll go through my starting 11 now. Looks like Kelleher's going to be missing again after not making the bench at the weekend, so I'm going to go with Adrian in goal. At left back, I'm going to go with Kostas Tsimikas. I'm going to say, and this might surprise a few people, that Joe Gomez starts on the left of the fence with Ibou Konate at right centre-half and Nico Williams. Now, already when I was speaking to people in the office, like trying to get the help with this one, they were like, well, why have you gone with Konate there? And I'm like, well, you know what? He played against Crystal Palace in the Premier League at home at Anfield, and then he played midweek against Norwich in the EFL Cup last time around. So they sort of played in back-to-back games, 3 days apart. I think it was the 18th and the 21st, something like that. So I'm going to go with Konate plays again for a second time in a week. Gives Matip that extra sort of time off as well. And Joe Gomez has obviously been playing that left-hand side when there's been no Virgil van Dijk. So do you know what? If there was, like, that, I'm comfortable that that's going to be the back four. The others, there may be a small problem with, and when I say small, I mean fucking ginormous, but we're here, and we're going to try regardless. Centre midfield, after his, he came on, was it half-time, was it, against Norwich Morton, and really shored it up, and then hearing sort of Pep Lijnders' views about his performance, I'm like, this lad's starting in the centre of midfield this time around. Obviously, we've got injury concerns over James Milner, over Fabinho, over Naby Keita, so I think for me, you know, Morton's going to come in there. I'm going to go that Kurt Jones gets an extra few minutes again alongside Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain in the middle of the park this time, I think. And this is when it becomes really difficult. I've gone with Mateusz Musolowski over on that left-hand side, Takumi Minamino on the right-hand side, and I'm going Divock Origi up top for this one. Substitutes. I don't know whether he'll bring a kid up from the unders or anything, so I've gone with Alisson there. I think Conor Bradley, obviously we saw him putting a great performance against Norwich up and down that right-hand side. He'll be disappointed maybe to miss out in my starting 11 prediction. He'll probably be more disappointed if he misses out in Jurgen's starting 11 for the game itself. I've got Nat Phillips because he was on the bench against Norwich as well. I'm going to throw Joe Matip on there as well, mainly just for the fact that, you know, he's had a game off already. Ibou came in, Matip can go onto the bench. I'm going to put the captain there. I think it's important that he's in and around the squad in this one. Then I'm going to go with James Balagizi, young attacking sort of midfielder, could probably play one of the eights, something like that. And then I'm going to go with Sadio Mane, who obviously sat out the weekend's game for the most part against Manchester United. So, where do I think I'm going to be wrong? Well, maybe here. Probably here, maybe here. So there's a few different ways you can sort of skin this cat, isn't there? I think, you know, what we could see is maybe Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain playing from that left-hand side and maybe dropping Balagizi in there instead. I think Balagizi, having made the bench last time out against Norwich, he might think that maybe he's next man up rather than the way that I've done it and put Mateusz Musolowski up there. So maybe that's more likely. Maybe you could do something like that. Or if you wanted to, you could switch Minamino and Oxlade-Chamberlain and do that jiggly-pokery as well. But I am going to go back to what I thought it originally was going to be. I'm going to get into some of the comments as well. There's another option, I suppose, and this is one that Steele mentioned to me, actually. You could maybe put Kostas a little bit further up, maybe play Nico Williams at left back and put Conor Bradley in at right back. Can't imagine that we're going to do that. Gareth Bird sent a super chat in, thank you so much. Chris, just a reminder that we battered United 5-0. That is all. I did not need any reminder, to be perfectly honest with you. I think I started the show talking about that fresh off the back of beating Manchester United at Old Trafford. I think Minamino in the 9 says 7th night. Now, if Minamino's in the 9 there, which way around are you going to play it? because as I'm looking at it, I mean, Sadio Mane could play on the right-hand side, to be fair to him. You know, we could see Sadio Mane on there, we could see Minamino and Origi on that left-hand side. Wouldn't surprise me if Mane is playing in this game. You know, having that sort of experienced international playing with some of the youth players could be really good. As a personal preference, I don't really want to see him near the side. I do think that the side that I picked is potentially good enough. Minamino's looked decent in that 9 as well at times. But with Minamino starting on that left-hand side against Norwich, we obviously started with Origi in the 9. And then it was Kai Gordon, wasn't it? He's not going to be available for this one by the sounds of things when you listen to Pep Lijnders talking. It's this sort of, that's why I've gone with Minamino on the wing and Origi in the 9, because Origi played the 9 last time against Norwich, so there's me workings out, so to speak. I think Mane 100% plays in this match at one point, says Trevin Burns. I think he plays in this match at one point. I just don't think it's from the start, so yeah, maybe we're talking about that, the same thing. Stephen Dugan says, Kai Gordon. Yeah, I think I've just answered that one. I would start Henderson with Jones and Oxlade-Chamberlain, take Hendo off after 60 and keep Jones and Ox on for 90, injury pending, said James Casey. I would start Henderson and Jones and Oxlade-Chamberlain. Wow, okay, Henderson, Jones, Oxlade-Chamberlain. That's interesting, that. I mean, Hendo obviously sat out the Norwich game. If I'm right, I think I'm right in saying that Jones started in the 6 in the Norwich game, didn't he? That's a strong midfield, isn't it? Listen, that's fair, that's your opinion. And you would do that, clearly. But I think Jurgen's going to play Morton in this game. Talk Footy just says no Big Nat. I mean, look, we all want to see Big Nat, but I think it was interesting, again, just citing something that Pep Lijnders said before, and that was like, he spoke about the pace of the 4 centre-halves. He talked about Joe Gomez, Ibu Konate, Joel Matip, and Virgil van Dijk, and he said they allow us to play that high line. And all I was thinking when he kept on saying it, and it's their pace and stuff like that, that allows us to play that high line, and just kept thinking, he's not mentioned that, he's not mentioned that, he's not mentioned that. And I wonder whether that's it, you know. And then, to be fair, Lijnders was talking about being sat next to the goal anyway, which was Nat Phillips and Reece Williams towards the back end of the season. But I just think that, you know, we do have to sit slightly deeper, and that's maybe why Nat Phillips doesn't get involved in this one again. He made the bench against Norwich. I think he'll make the bench this time around. I'm late. Is Queven injured, says Cian Dolan. Queven Kelleher is... He was apparently had an illness at the weekend, and then the way that it was sort of phrased is like a little bit of a problem. So it doesn't look like he's going to be involved. He might make the bench or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. Honestly, think Jurgen will go younger for this game. Maybe 3-4 first team regulars, says Matthias Bruns. Jim's always asking what's for tea. I've no idea. My wife and kids have been away for the last couple of days, so I've been fending for myself, and hopefully my wife will sort me out this evening. Apparently Bradley can play centre mid. Oh, is that Aubrey? Yeah, he can. I think we've known that for a little bit of a while, to be honest, Orbs. Is that the Aubrey Reynolds? Oh, mate, Orb, I miss you. I can't believe how much we drank the other weekend, to be honest with you. That 24-hour period was as heavy as it's ever been. Salah on the bench, says Top Waffler. Not for me. Give him a rest. Give him a rest. Give him a rest. Gage Whittaker, Balagizi. Yeah, I mean, again, I mentioned it before. We threw him into the centre there. James Balagizi might feel like after being on the bench last time around and not making it, he might want to make the start. And that would mean maybe you throw Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain here and James Balagizi here, something like that. I actually don't know which side you'd put him on, but maybe that's the option if Balagizi comes in and throw Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain a little bit further forwards. Anyone else? Any more? Play Minamino and Origi and Nat. Wowzer. Never give up, said I. Play Minamino and Origi and Nat. I just can't imagine seeing him, to be honest with you. Bring back Aubrey, says Pilioka. I'm afraid that he's paid too well for doing a great job down in London. He's a director and he's loving it, and he deserves to as well. He's absolutely brilliant at what he does. We loved having him here with us, obviously because he's one of my best mates and stuff, but it's been a while now since Aubrey's left, because Doz97 saying, who's Aubrey? Indeed. Beyond Chris, absolutely spot on, except Philip should be starting. He was our best player last season and deserves his chance. I think Gordon should start if he's fit. Again, I don't think that Gordon is going to be fit and available for this one. Pep Lijnders just mentioned that on his press conference, which is well worth a listen. By the way, go over onto the Liverpool YouTube channel when this is finished. So there you go. that has been my starting 11 prediction show. If I had to guess right now, 9 right. 9 right. Go on. Let me know how many you think I'm going to get right in the comment section. Don't forget to like the video. It really does help. It really, really does. It supports the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Ta.
Thanks so much for checking out the show this week. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, then do. But if you want more from us, extra Redmen shows, then go to the redmentv.com. You can support the channel at 2 levels, by Club Captain or Club Legend tier. Both get you a full suite of Liverpool-related content, extra Redmen shows, documentaries, features, and world-exclusive interviews. And Club Legends get their names here and on the end of those videos, and free merchandise as well. Perfect time to sign up on the redmentv.com.